Guys, got a 2005 Town & Country here. We're going to be doing rear brakes. If you need the front brakes on this vehicle, you can click on my name underneath this video, search all my how-to videos, just Town & Country 2005 front brakes, and you'll find it. So the first thing we do is we pull the cap off here, and you can see it's pretty full. The reason for that is as they're adding fluid and the brake shoes are wearing down, it takes up more space, so they have to add more fluid because they don't have as much brake pedal. And so when you get ready to do the brakes, and I've already done one side, by pushing the caliper back, you're shoving it in here. So I'll show you what that means. So let's go back here to the back. We're going to take the tire off. The tools I'll be using is a 19mm socket. I'll be using a 7 Allen. You can use an Allen wrench or the bit. Flathead screwdriver, a C-clamp, and then these are our new rubber dust boots and brakes and such. So let's go ahead and start off by getting that tire off. Okay, and if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that we're not going to bleed the brakes, and I'll show you how we're going to do that. So here we're looking at the caliper, such a tiny little thing. Right back here we've got a rubber boot and a rubber boot, and that's where that Allen's going to go, that 7. So we just stick it in there and we'll take that off. Now unfortunately I only have 2 hands, so let me set the phone down. Okay, so not only did we use the screwdriver I didn't show you to take that hubcap off, but here's where I like to move these bolts back. I have them completely loose. You can see the threads right there. So I like to just grab the bolt and just push it back away from the caliper, so it doesn't get hung up on there when I'm trying to remove it. See how I pushed it back? Now I'll push this one back. Okay, and so now we have the spring here. We're gonna need to rotate that this direction and lift it up. See how it just comes right out of there? That's going to be kind of spring loaded when we put it back in. We'll have to push down a little bit to get that bolt in. So now we can lift that caliper up, flip it over, and we'll set it on the leaf spring. Right there. Now we can remove this one here, this shoe. The easiest way to remove this shoe, you'll find that it's really stuck in there good, is to go on the back side of it and pry it up away from the spring. Pry it this direction. So let me get that out of there. Okay, so that one just pried right up and then popped the other side off. Now we're going to push this cylinder back, and we're going to do that with, I wish I would have gotten a tripod a long time ago. So I'm going to use that clamp right there. I'm going to put it on and just shove that back. Okay, when shoving this back, I just want to go nice and slow around, because the faster I go, I'll be shoving that fluid back into that master cylinder up front in the engine compartment, and it's just going to spill everywhere. So just go nice and slow when you go down. So that's down all the way. Now I can take the C-clamp off and remove that brake. So although these brake pads were kind of thick, they were hardened on the, on the top, excuse me. They were almost like riding metal to metal. They're just not soft anymore. They're about as hard as that concrete. They're just... They get hot from barely easy or slowly hitting the brakes and riding them for a long time. They get hot and the shoes just don't grab anymore. So now I want to hit everything with a little bit of brake clean here, hence the rag, and clean it up a little bit, and then we'll install the other ones. Okay, now they give you this little package of grease. If it didn't come with it, you might want to get one. This helps keep the squealing away. I like to put it on both of those, the ends of these just a tiny bit, and right inside these. It helps it from squealing. They tend to shake when you're pushing on them just a tiny bit. If you're not hitting the brakes hard and you're just barely pushing on them, then they tend to just shake, and that's where the squealing comes in. So it's good to have that on there. So a lot of times if you hear that, it doesn't necessarily mean the brakes are bad. It could mean that there's just no grease on it and you got some dust. So a lot of times you just stick a water hose in there and rinse them, and that squealing will go away. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick this back one in. Okay, so the back one just pops straight in, and keep it on the concave edge of the rotor, because remember when we close this down, it's going to go this direction. Don't turn it the other way. Clips go down. So now we'll go ahead and put the other one on. Okay, so this one's on. Now, when this starts to go down, you can just smack this right here with your screwdriver. Just tap it and it'll go right down. So we got that on. Now let's rotate it and set it back on the caliper. Here are on top, and the spring is getting loaded underneath, just like that. Now we can rotate the front down and run our bolts in. Okay, we got those on nice and tight. We can throw the tire back on. And then let's go up front and show you this little trick we're going to do so we don't have to bleed these. Okay, now as you can see, she's really full because we pushed all that back. So I'm actually going to push a little bit out of there. And at this point, we can go ahead and put the lid on. Should have drained it instead of spilling it on. So let's go inside. Now here's the key that we're not going to end up, I gotta grab the keys. We're not gonna end up bleeding the brakes. So we're gonna go ahead and push the brake pedal down 3 times slow. It's gonna feel like it hit the floor and there's something wrong, but there's not. They're building up. Shouldn't go down that far, but that's the reason. It's because we're building it up. See that? It didn't go near that far. 2 times is gonna do it, but we're gonna do it 3 anyway. Now let's go ahead and start the vehicle. We're gonna do it again 3 times. She goes down there quite a ways. Not quite. Feels good already. That's it. Now we have regular brake pedal, and we didn't have to bleed the brakes. So I hope this video helped you out. Please click like, please click subscribe, click on my name underneath this video for all my other how-to videos, and as always guys, enjoy.